Perfect. Thanks for.
All right.
So just so you know, when you do that, I get a notification.
Notification. Yeah.
Same
Gotcha.
here.
So are you able to do all this now without Sean's help, or is he still in the background helping out?
Nope. I just need somebody to tell me if this is episode 21 or 22. I think it's 22.
He is the
22
pilot in command.
or is it 23?
I always look and I forgot. I'll call it 22, and then if I have to, I'll come back and
Okay.
edit it. All right. Going live.
Mark.
Is that Elroy in the house?
Mark's in the house.
Oh, we got a pair of life. Oh, he's
There is.
he's vertical now.
Man of the hour.
He's sideways a little bit.
I got to tell you, I was sitting there looking for my Paralife shirt and I found Jade's and I dug through my fifth wheel and I did not find mine. And I'm thinking that I did not buy one from you. So
Oh,
I did buy one. I thought I bought one from him.
You may not have, but Jay did.
Jade bought two. I'm going to have to pick another one up if I can't find it. So save me an extra large black. Is he even listening to
You might
me?
even have to win it on my show.
no, maybe he's looking it up to see if you
He's
actually
listening to
bought one.
he's smiling now. He's listening.
Yeah, I'm listening now. Finally,
Hey, Jim will be in a little after 8, he said. Apparently some things have run a little longer than anticipated. So I was trying to make somebody else, trying to figure out how to make somebody to pay attention to if anybody else jumped in to the chat or to the panel, because I got to shrink this down so I can see the chat. And sometimes it doesn't pop up. I think that's what happened to Brian that one time. Brian's like, man, you mad at me the next day? He's like, you mad at me? I waited forever and you never let me in the room. Should have texted me, man. John Wayne. We got PPG, the other Nick. Tony. Where's Angela?
Hey,
Can't have one without the other.
jumping on the chat, huh? Are they all jumping in the chat room?
Oh, she's
Yeah.
logged in. Never trust a skinny chef Shane. Check that out. There's two of them. You don't look
Yeah,
anything
she's
alike
got-
though.
You gotta change your name, hon.
Yeah,
Change your name.
yeah.
I know, I'm
Actually,
trying to get
she slid in. She slid in. In the,
By the way,
yeah. That's what I would look like with hair. Just say it now. I'd be pretty. Finally. Oh. Craig Couch, what's going down? Hey, all right. So
So
real
how many-
quick, let me introduce the show real quick. It's Tuesday Night Hangouts. I think it's episode 22. I could be wrong on that. If so, I'll change it. We are going to be talking to Jim Reeves, which is Jim CR120 on YouTube. He just flew Kitty Hawk, and we're gonna hear his story about how great it was. He is running a little late, so give us a little bit of time. We'll fill in with some shenanigans about the 4th of July long weekend and see what everybody's been up to. And then we'll hopefully get Jim in and we'll move from there. So,
Cool.
Mr. Waller, nice to see you this evening, sir. Where on YouTube, wherever can we find you, sir?
yeah, you can find me at PPG Brian. That's BRIAN.com. Check me out on YouTube. Got some videos about flying paramotors, some other stuff, greenhouse stuff, fly-ins, just having a good time, different places. Hopefully soon I'll be making my own Kitty Hawk video. I'm looking forward to hearing Jim's story, man. Big time. I mean, who doesn't dream of flying Kitty Hawk? I mean, golly,
I know, right?
you know.
Mark McElroy, sir, how are you doing tonight? Is he frozen?
He is.
I think he's frozen. All right. Flying Flamingo, hello and welcome. I know you're a little bit under the weather, so I greatly appreciate you being here.
Yep,
Where can
I'm
we
here.
find you? Uh-oh, Eric's got to mute himself now. Where can we find you on social media, Jade? I can hear you say I can't.
I can't hear anything.
We can hear you.
We can hear you.
You're live on the internet for the whole world to hear, all 11 of us.
I don't know why I can't hear. I got the volume up. Hang on. Technical difficulties always with me.
As long as it doesn't happen tomorrow night. We got John from Slow Days. We got JR Paramotors. So what do you got running in the background? Yeah, I don't know if it's bouncing off of Eric's computer or what. I don't know. Anyways, Wednesday.
Better.
What's that?
So y'all can blame it on the Waller internet again if it makes you feel better.
Yeah. Hey, so we can find Jade Wednesday night, 7 o'clock
Can you turn it up
Central.
so we can hear?
We can hear you now. Jade is dying. Oh, we got your Danky. Fly, baby, fly, PPG in the house. Oh. Hey, John from Slow Days, remind me to tell you how I almost got in trouble with the law Tuesday of last week while flying at the compound. Good story.
Yeah, fly, baby, fly, Slow Days. Angela's in the chat. Let's see. Tony, he's been watching my channel. Appreciate that, Tony. John Wayne and PPG, the other Nick. How many Nicks do we have in paramotoring? Quite a few.
Yeah, quite a few. Mhm.
Tommy
Hey,
Sutherland.
Jade, I'm gonna change your name on your computer real quick.
Change mine too. I don't know how to do it.
What would you like us to call you, Linda?
Yeah, Linda, don't give me that power. Oh my
I can't
goodness.
say.
We know Paramom.
Yeah, let's just leave it at ParamotorUSA.com.
.com.
We'll just keep it PG. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
My poor girl not feeling good.
Okay, I'm here now.
Oh,
Woo!
my poor baby.
Sorry, my speaker was shut
So
off.
Jade,
What?
so Jade, tell us about your social media, where we can find you, and what are you doing Wednesday about 7 o'clock Central?
Wednesday about 7 o'clock Central. It'll be Girls Just Want to Fly on YouTube. And we will be having a gal named Wendy Weaver, originally from Alaska. And she's living in Pennsylvania now, her and her family.
Oh.
It looks like she flies trike.
I just got a text message from Jim CR120 says, little pig, let me in. Oh, that's hilarious. Sorry, Jim, we had to set up this waiting room, back room, whatever it's called. And if we don't, people hijack the show and Well, ask Sean, it wasn't a good one. So, hello, Jim. How's it going, sir?
Hello, I just had me a delicious supper. Sorry I'm late. You've been very gracious to let me come on late like this, but boy, it was some good food.
Understood, man.
Hey, no worries.
Looking forward to that story.
Yeah, we're
Story.
all
Who's got-
You got the story. The last time I seen you, you were at Melbourne Beach with Eric Farewell and all the gang flying around. I just watched that video today they put out. That drone footage is phenomenal, by the way. I've never wanted a drone in my life. I kind of want one now just for that simple fact of that drone footage is amazing.
Yeah.
But so now that I'm
What do you
done
want to
with the
hear about?
text
You want to hear about the beach? You want to tell the text message? What do you want to hear about?
We're all dying to hear about Kitty Hawk. Kind of interested on how that went. Brian, let's just say we were talking about this and it does make sense. I don't know how protected this area is, how much trouble it takes to get into it. And may not want a bunch of pilots bombarding the area. So up to you. I don't know anything about how to do it, what it takes to get in there and fly, but I'd like to
So
one day.
I had the same questions going into it. I had the same questions. I asked Eric Farewell, he flew through there last year, and he basically said, you know, out of respect, stay away from the monument and don't fly over people, that's typical flying anyway. You drive up to the place and you can just drive it up to the airfield, just like many airfields that you can. And there's no tower there, there's no control there. It's just one little airstrip, and the trees are kind of tight in, so it's a bit of a tight little channel. If you had some winds going, you might have some rotor going in there. We didn't have that. We started off right at sunrise, and it was just one other guy. He was in town from Phoenix, and he posted on the Facebook. He says, "Hey, I'm in town. I want to fly at first flight. Is anybody around that would like to fly with me?" I'm like, "Oh man, I got so much stuff I got to be working on the house." And it's like, but I'm the local guy. This is me. This is he's in my turf. This is where I should be helping him out. So I drove it's actually 2 hours to first flight. So I drove there. We set up just before sunrise, and we flew around. And I think our flight was probably 40 minutes or so. It's a narrow channel of land, and so you've got water to the east and to the west of you on that strip where Kitty Hawk and the Outer Banks are at. Kind of spiraled up, stayed over the airfield till it got kind of high. The monument is just off from the airfield, so we didn't overfly the monument, and but you can still see it. It's a fairly good size monument. We went up, and then after we got some height, then we shot over towards the beach, and then we flew up the beach a ways. Some clouds were kind of forming. They were still ways away. We went up. We were going to cross over where there's a big sand area where a lot of people fly a lot of kites and stuff called Jockey's Ridge. And I think we were going to cross over there, but the clouds were starting to get a little close. So we decided we'd cut over sooner and then head back. Fortunately, we were going up into the wind on the way north, and then on the way back, we had the wind to our back. So it ended up being a good thing. It wasn't totally uneventful though. I had my first butt landing. Came down, the grass was wet, and my feet slid out from under me, and then boom, down I went. And son of a gun, if that prop didn't nick my netting, so I got a little hole in my netting from that. I also flew later that day, not at that field, but with another guy that I just met. And after that flight, I realized that my cage was a little loose. I don't know if it was loose from the second flight or the first. I think it was the first from that butt landing. There was a sheared bolt that I've since replaced. So it didn't seem like that landing was that hard. Maybe it's just that way, my paramotor's way of telling me to lose weight.
Well,
What
you did,
frame are you flying?
you did. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Brian.
Well, I'm flying my Gravity Defiant.
Okay. Got you.
So you
Yeah,
did break a
it's-
prop,
it's-
or you did?
I did not break a prop. I have that Defiant only has about 2 inches from when you rotate that prop to that lower position between the prop and the spar. There's only about 2 inches. So I had often thought that if I ever hit this hoop on a landing, I'm going to eat a prop. But usually when I land, I'm killing that engine just before I touch down or just after. And I think that was the case there. So I don't think the prop was spinning with everything it had in it anyway. And it had just nicked, and the hole that it put in the netting wasn't a very big hole, but it was right there at that spot where that spar is at, right where I was always concerned.
Awesome. So you said it was a tight LZ. That was just on, I mean, is that where you have to take off from at the airport, or are you able to take off from the beach?
You know, there looks like there was enough people at the beach that maybe, I don't know, the winds weren't all that strong in the morning. Maybe if you timed it with the tides and everything, we could have done like we were down in your area and just done
Right.
something like that with better winds. The time that we shot for a different story. Yeah. There was already some clouds in the area, and I'm not really familiar with flying in that area, so we played it with caution. And we do have water on both sides of us. The Outer Banks is a narrow strip of land.
Quick question.
As
Would
far
you-
as what you were
if
talking
you,
before, though, go ahead.
I was gonna finish what you're saying. I have a question for you. Go ahead.
Sure. As to what you were saying before, though, you know, I was kind of concerned about, okay, national park, this monument, that, and you know, how are we going to do this without, you know, upsetting any kind of service or anything, and that just wasn't an issue. I think if most of us who do fly, I mean, I've flown with several of you now. You fly with the common sense and you don't overfly people, and you stay away from buildings and congested areas, just like the FAR tells us to do. You're fine. You don't need any special permission. There's no park pass to get in there. You just drive right up to it. There's a parking lot. There's people walking their dogs, and it's kind of like a park is how it's set up.
Very nice. So if you had the chance to do it again, would you?
Oh yeah. Why, you coming up?
Well, I'm thinking if I was to detour on my way home, there might be a chance of that happening, but I don't know. I'd have to talk to my passengers. I have the wife, and I have Nick Preeny going with me on the ride up. So, oh, and I guess if they're both good, I'll bring them back too. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, that could be maybe leave a day early, leave Saturday morning, fly the afternoon, and then head back Saturday night. I don't know. It's just it is going to be one of the it is going to be one of my bucket list things to fly. I'll never fly the pyramids because, well, that just seems like a whole hassle. I don't want to be part of getting the motors over there, permits, whatever you got to do. That's just too much for me. I just want to walk out, fly, and be done with it. So, any other things that you want to talk about, Kitty Hawk? Brian, you got any questions for him? I know you got questions, but I know you don't want to give out too much info, or not too much info. You don't want to. I know we're kind of worried about ruining the area, if you will, with people showing up and maybe flying over the monuments or over people.
It doesn't sound like there's a lot of requirements.
Yeah, there's plenty of. Go ahead, Brian. Go ahead.
No, I mean, it doesn't sound like there's a lot of requirements. I didn't know if you had to file a flight plan with the FAA. I thought maybe that was a requirement. I'm just curious. A question I have is did you visit the site previously, or did you go there on and visit on the ground before you flew it, so you kind of knew what you'd be flying over?
My first time in North Carolina, like 3 years ago, there's a couple monument spots that we stopped at, but I don't think I stopped at that one. This one looks different. And I did not walk around, and I kind of regretted not having walked around. I had stuff here at the house that I want to take care of. However, my son, Morgan, who you met, he'll be in town next month bringing his paramotor. So I imagine that we will do the full thing then. We'll fly the area, we'll check out the monument, maybe hang out at the beach. Last time he was here, we were at Cape Hatteras and we were doing some little bit of ridge soaring. So, I mean, that's a thing too that you can do without a motor.
Dude, that's awesome. I mean, all that's awesome. How's Morgan, man? Is he happy daddy now or what?
Very happy daddy. Boy, he's enjoying that. That girl of his is just getting cuter every day. They're doing the family pictures. I am just blessed with so many kids, and he's just the recent one. He went up and saw his sister in Wisconsin. I got to see a couple of grandbabies next to each other. I've got another grandson due in October, November this year in Spain, so I'm going to be heading over there in a couple months to see him. Yeah.
Man, you guys
like
are
being a
growing
grandpa.
like weeds. Those
Yeah.
I haven't had the luxury of being a grandpa yet, and I can wait another 10 years. I'm fine with that. But I am kind of sort of looking forward to it. I kind of admit, but not right now. I don't want to look at grandpa, never trust a skinny chef flying in the air. I don't want that. No, not yet. I don't know how I feel about the grandpa part yet. Good Lord, no.
I'll tell you,
I am
4th of July just came, and I had my grandchildren down in Jacksonville with my oldest and his wife, and it was just so nice being with them. You know, you get them hugs with those little arms wrapped around your neck and the big strong hugs. It's just like being a dad all over again, except now you're a little smarter and wiser, and spoiling's okay and everything's better.
Now,
yeah, you're allowed to tell them, hey, it's okay. Grandpa's doing it. It's fine. I gave it to him. It's fine. And then when they're all hyper and crazy, you go, okay, here you go. You got to come back.
Now, Jim, you log all your flights still, don't you? You're keeping up with them?
I'm logging them as in I'm keeping track of the number of them. I'm up to 116 flights now, and I was going to stop at 100 because 100's a nice round number. But then I looked at the PPG 3 requirements and saw that they want 120 flights. I'm like, oh, fine. I'll count it up to 120, and then I'm done counting. So 4 more flights, and then I'm done counting.
I keep up with it.
And 2 of those flights were trike flights. I don't care what JP says. I'm counting those flights.
Oh yeah, that totally counts. That totally counts, man. But the reason I ask is because I thought you were keeping up with it. So what flight number was it that you flew over Kitty Hawk?
That would have been 116, 115.
115. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that'd be something I would remember forever. I don't know about you, man. You know, my 115th flight, I flew Kitty Hawk. You know, I just had my 134th flight a couple of days ago. So if it's my 200th flight, if it's my 300th flight, when I fly it, I will know what number that is forever, for sure.
Yeah, it was special. It was special, and I took some pictures. I haven't posted them yet. I'm still kind of getting settled into the house. I mean, we bought a house late last year, but we haven't spent a whole lot of time in it. A lot of our time has been spent in Lake Wales. So.
So how did you like your first beach?
Shirt too. I appreciate that, Ryan. What's that?
How did you like your first beach flight at Melbourne Beach there not too long ago?
So for those of you who didn't see the video, wow. And I couldn't say wow enough. In fact, just thinking about it makes the wows come back out. It's crazy. I mean, I was actually anticipating maybe this question earlier today, and I was thinking, okay, well, maybe someone who's never seen a hot tub, they look at that water and they say, that looks like boiling water. Do I want to get into that? And then he's like, I don't know. And then you kind of like slowly ease yourself into it. And he's like, oh, wow, this is nice. That's what it was like on the beach. It's like you see this high wind. It's like, I don't know if this is stuff I'd want to kite in. And you see other people jumping in. It's like, well, I'll give kiting a shot. And then you put it up there. It's like, oh, okay, I've got all kinds of control. This is just super easy. I'm throwing the motor on and I'm going. And wow, it was really, really nice. It's very comfortable.
Yeah,
the wind is super predictable.
Yeah, I hate it that I had to leave right before I saw you take off, but I was still at work, so I had to go. But it killed me to leave because I really wanted to say, hey, anybody got a meter or a wing and a motor for me to fly? Because I'm sure I can explain that on workman's comp how I didn't land properly and twisted something or broke something. Yeah, I did this on the job. Don't worry about it. No, if I would have had a better heads up on exactly when you guys were coming over, then I would have definitely met you guys up there with my gear. But I did have a good time the short time I was there, getting to meet some of the crew. Yeah, it sucked having to leave. I mean, it's just it was like a miniature fly-in, if you will. And here I am having to go back to work. I was like, dude, I don't want to do this. That was the longest walk back up the beach I think I've ever taken because I didn't want to leave.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Dragging your feet. Yeah, fortunately, Reese did get my first flight on film, so you get to see a little bit of it there. And I know everybody they shared a link with, you could definitely tell when they're like, with their responses, if they got a response with like, yeah, thanks, I got it. I was like, okay, you didn't watch the video, because everybody who watched the video like, oh wow, that was so exciting, because it was. But yeah, I'm going to be back down in September, so or at least that's what I'm planning on. So maybe we can arrange another fly thing then. That one, it was funny because I just wanted to go fly with you and Ripa, and gotten to talking about it, and had a couple of the other instructors along with me, and we're just asking and sharing. It's like, oh, if I go, you guys want to go? Yeah, I want to go. Beach flying's different. And it just snowballed into this one big, beautiful thing that everybody just had such a blast. Everybody except you. So we're going to have to get you in on the next one.
Yeah, please let me know. Just give me, I mean, before I start work, notice. That way I can call out sick of having to be at work and I should go fly. And I would definitely be there. Actually, I think you guys would also like leaving, because Eric flew into Sebastian Airport. That's usually where we fly out of and then fly to the beach, and then we go whatever ways. If you go south, you can probably get maybe a 45-minute flight going south and then 45 minutes back and then come back over the river. I absolutely love that flight. I don't know what it is. Did you end up going down to Sebastian Inlet, or how far did you go down south from where you took off?
I don't think I went down that far. I mean, I went up a little ways. Down, I think heading south that day was into the wind, and so I mean, I went that ways for a while, but I didn't make a whole lot of progress because it was a little bit upwind, and
Right.
And I was just enjoying the view. So I wasn't trying to reach it to a certain spot. I was just soaking in the good vibrations. I mean, it was just wow.
What did you see any sea life? Did you while you were flying over, did you get to see any turtles or manta rays?
There was, I think some people said they saw some manta rays. I don't recall seeing any of those. I think there were some pelicans, but there was plenty of turtles all around. And I think it might have been mating season for the turtles because they were looking very friendly towards each other.
Yeah, I believe. What's the your female instructor that was with you? Whit? Is it
Whitney.
Whit? Whitney. Okay, yeah.
Whitney.
She's like, yeah, we saw sea turtles and they were on top of each other. I was like, yeah, it's that time of year. But yeah. Oh, good. Sean, what kind of Sean, I don't think this is appropriate kind of stuff. What are you what's going on here, sir?
This is not the skinny dipping network. This is not the skinny dipping.
This is the nude PPG grandpa in the bath. Yay!
All
Oh,
right.
there we go. Thank God I'm not monetized.
We got the grandkids, we got the dragon camper.
Oh, we lost him.
He dropped his
Uh-oh.
phone. He dropped his phone in the water.
He
Yeah.
dropped his phone in the.
Did
Oh,
I
man.
miss
So does
anything?
anybody?
Did I miss anything? Can you go back and restart from the beginning?
No,
Tomorrow.
Yeah, Jim CR120 flew Kitty Hawk, and it was awesome.
Oh man, that's awesome, dude. I hope you got video.
Yeah, he said he
Got a
took
little bit. I got a
pictures,
little bit
but
of
I'm-
video, a little bit, a few shots, not much. But my son will be in town, and we'll get some more for sure.
That's awesome. I wish that I was there flying with you.
And Shane
so
is playing around with the idea of coming to fly Kitty Hawk as well. So we'll see if that goes.
Oh,
yeah,
we need to do a fly-in at Kitty Hawk, I think.
Hmm.
Angela
That would be
asked a
loud.
question in the chat about what beach are you guys talking about? When Jim flew out the beach for the first time was in Melbourne Beach, Florida, which is about a 20-minute drive, 30-minute drive from my house. And yeah, it's a really good little beach to fly from. Not a lot of traffic, if you will. And you just fly down the beach right next to A1A, and you just fly out over the water and see all the sharks and see all the people that are swimming right next to the sharks and don't know it. It's funny. I've surfed and bodyboarded my entire life, and it just cracks me up because I never thought about it. I've flown over and seen all the sharks. I'm like, it's a nice day to surf. Not today though, because I've seen what's in the water today. We'll try again later when I'm not in the water.
Shark, shark.
Shark Week.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of Shark Week, I
It was-
think
it was-
blimp. That's a whole new side story there. But yeah, Will, wasn't that you that saw the Shark Week blimp?
Yeah. Yep.
It's your local LZ.
Yeah, what a surprise, man. Never seen that before. How's
That's pretty
everyone doing tonight?
Doing good, man. How about you?
I'm doing good. I am jealous. I feel like, living in North Carolina that, I don't know, maybe I should have visited Kitty Hawk by now, but I haven't.
Isn't North Carolina first in flight?
I do believe so. And, hey,
Hey,
I heard
that's what the
that
shirt says.
That's right, man. Oh yeah, like your shirt, dude.
Krista asked me tonight, do you want to wear your North Carolina shirt? I was like, no, I need to wear my clear prop. I haven't worn it yet since I got
cool.
it. And yeah, I'm wearing clear prop TV, just so you guys know.
I'm wearing this because I couldn't find my comfortable Paralife shirt.
Yeah, that Paralife shirt. Krista wears hers constantly. The girl is obsessed with, but it feels so good. It feels so good. I go, I know, I'm wearing the same shirt. I know. I know.
Hey, this summer we're going to be going down to Kitty Hawk. So, Jim, if you got people who've never been, they know how to fly a paramotor, but they've never been to Kitty Hawk. Any like suggestions you could give them as far as do's and don'ts? I heard the thing about the not getting close to people and the monuments, but
Yeah. So driving up there is really easy. You punch it up in the GPS first flight, and it'll take you right up to a parking lot. The parking lot is right next to the airfield, the strip. You can park right there, unload your stuff. A lot of people show up there and they unload their dog and they go for walks. It's set up like a park. So it's real easy to do that. As far as flying out of there, respect the monument, respect the people, and follow the regulations that we already do, our FAR 103, and you're good to go. It's really not a complicated thing. The only thing that I would say is, depending on what you're used to flying out of, it's not a big open airfield. It's a little channel cut between the trees, and the airfield runs right down through them. It's plenty wide enough to take off, but if you have wind or something, maybe you might have some goofy rotor. I don't know. I haven't had to deal with that. We were there early enough that we didn't have to deal with that either way. So,
How close did you get to the monuments? Would you say?
I never flew directly over it. There's the airfield is offset from it by several hundred feet. So I basically just there was no other air traffic in the area, and on the opposite side of the airfield there is just I think there's an antenna tower up on a hill. So I just kind of spiraled up over in that area just to get some altitude before I crossed over towards the beach.
So literally where you took off from is right beside the monument. You said hundreds of feet?
Yes. Yeah, you could definitely see it right from there. You're at the parking lot. So, I mean, the parking lot is between the airstrip, the runway, and the hill where the monument's up on.
It's super convenient.
Sorry, Brian, go ahead.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And right there next to the runway, it says first flight. So, I mean, if you get a picture, you can check that out and show. It's like, oh, here I am. See the monument in there. It was a beautiful day.
How long was
Definitely recommend it. We only, I think, did about 45 minutes. Not super long. Typically, my flights are right around 20 minutes, maybe a little bit more, a little bit less. I've done plenty longer, but generally they're 20 minutes, half hour, 40 minutes.
Right on. Look at that
So,
hairy chest.
You need to come out, Will.
Dang.
I'll go flying with you.
Any other questions for the panel for Jim? I do want to say that I got my my cup here, or my koozie, my can koozie, because it's awesome.
Oh, that's cool. Let me see it again. Let me see.
Yeah, hold on. Where am I at?
Oh, yeah.
Good Lord, hold on.
Right there.
Oh,
Right there.
that's cool.
Hold it right there.
Cool.
Oh, it only gets better as I turn it this way. See my face? Gorgeous. Oh, here's the backside.
Oh, that is
Woohoo.
cool.
Where'd you get that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Miss Jade, Flying Flamingo, made it for me. She
Nice.
said she'd make it only for those who she cares about. You didn't get one, Will?
Of course not.
Oh,
Well, you did too.
Yeah, I
that's
did.
cool.
Where are you guys getting the North Carolina shirts from?
Aha.
From a guy from North Carolina.
Yeah, I was gonna say Ohio. The guy in Ohio, but
What's that, Will?
I was gonna say some guy in Ohio.
Yeah.
Oh,
Believe it or not, Walmart.
What?
hey,
I thought you had this printed for me, man. Will gave me this shirt.
yeah, I got my shirt from Will. I don't know where he got it. There is a question from DP in the chat. It says, question for Jim. Do you work out, bro? Laugh out loud. DP.
I came to
You had
pump
the-
you
you had-
up. Of course I work out.
You had the pleasure of meeting DP yourself, correct? At Aviators?
Yeah. When he was getting ready for his training in Lake Wales, we figured out that his training and my time back down there was going to coincide. So there was a little bit of a countdown for him to show up, and when he did, I made a point to go say hi to him and everybody. And he's a bigger name than I am, obviously, because you and Ripa came by to see him, and you got a little bit of me anyway.
Oh my goodness. I will tell everybody listening right now that Jim CR120 is a fabulous person. We sat down and watched off in the distance in the horizon. We could see rain clouds coming across, and you could actually watch the raindrops it start raining, and you can see it falling to the earth. And we all sat there. Even my wife was like just amazed by all the stuff that we were talking about. And normally she doesn't even listen to me, but apparently she was listening to Jim, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, just an all around nice guy. And honestly, it was a pleasure meeting you. And I look forward to meeting up with you again. And maybe this time we can meet in the air. I know I only flew for, God, I had just got my wing back from Four Winds, from getting it inspected, and I had my wing or my brake line shortened. And my first takeoff, and I was flying, I was like, I don't like this. I'm scared to death. It didn't feel right. It felt completely off. So I landed over by where DP was in the middle of doing his training or whatever, and sat there and kind of hung out with everybody and talked for a little bit. And I was like, oh man, I'm not walking this all the way across the airport, across the runways to get my gear back over there. I was like, screw this, I'll just take off and land again. Now that I've flown probably, I think I've got another 10 hours on my wing now since the brakes have been shortened. I'll never want them that long again. They are just, I love it now. Now I am having to get back into the rhythm of the wing overs, because there's a timing thing that you got to do. And I find myself getting out of rhythm. I'm pulling too soon because the brake lines are shorter. So I'm kind of working back into that. I have to, I guess, progress back into better wing overs, because right now they're kind of ugly. The timing's off. That's all I can say.
Yeah, I'm too scared to do a wing over still. I'm taking it.
Oh, I'm not doing they're not that aggressive. I was just getting to the point where my body is now over the horizon, which isn't that dramatic. I mean, if you really look at it from outside looking in, it's not that dramatic. But I find myself now just, instead of working, a little bit at a time, getting up a little bit higher, all of a sudden I'm like, oh, I'm too high. Come on, break down. I just have to stop everything. Anytime my feet go out, in any video you see, if my feet go out in front of me, that's me saying stop without me saying stop. That's me trying to stop everything, because I'm like, whoa,
Hey, dude,
no, that's too much.
Whoa.
that does not work, man. When I saw a hay bale coming, I tried to put my foot out to stop, and then it didn't work.
The hay bale one.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, man, I was lucky enough to meet Jim and his son Morgan. They were pretty cool guys, man. A father and son going through training together, an aviator. I thought that was kind of special. Anybody that can do that with their father or their son, that's pretty cool. And now this guy is leading the way, showing us how to fly Kitty Hawk. And I mean, that's pretty awesome. And we meet some cool people in the sport. That is for sure.
So Tony asked a question.
I appreciate the friends that I've been making in the sport. You guys are a good crowd.
Appreciate that. Question from Tony: when you brakes are too long, can't you shorten them yourself, or have to send in your wing? No, you can shorten them yourself, but I can barely tie my shoes, more or less, when a brake or tie two brake lines and then have them come off mid-flight. I just actually saw on Facebook somebody asked a question about how do you land without if your brake line breaks or what have you. And from what I read, Eric actually made a comment on there about you have to flare a little sooner or something. Apparently he tied one of his brake lines, and I guess it came undone while he was flying and had to land that way. He said he stuck it, but I don't even know how to go through that. Like, I guess that is something that as pilots we all need to really think about at Bad Apples. I had one brake line, the sheathing came off, and the Kevlar was a little bit tethered, if you will. And I did think to myself, man, what happens if that thing breaks and then you only have one brake line? At that point, I did not know what to do. I've since asked the question, if your brake line breaks, what do you do? And well, Jim, what What do you suggest that we do if your brake line or both brake lines break?
What I have
Go for it.
heard, but I have not yet done, but I do intend to do, is that you can land using your Ds.
Yep.
If you lose one brake line, I don't think you're gonna have a good flare with just one brake. You're gonna spiral out or something, right? I would think. But I mean, I would trim in, depending on what wing you have, you know, set it to a good
Yeah, right.
slow speed, and then into the wind, and then grab a hold of those Ds and be ready to use those, or Ds or whatever you have for your rear lines.
I agree.
Yeah,
with you.
man, you know, I never thought ever as a 1.5-year pilot, what happens if these things break, meaning my brake lines. So after I realized, as I was in the middle of my flight, that my brake line was not in its 100% capacity, it did make me wonder at that point in time, which I guess I should have maybe have thought about that prior to. Maybe all of us should wonder, what do you do? And I'm guessing from what I read in the comments that you have to flare a little sooner than you would normally, but you also have to pull harder and you have to watch for stalls. I don't know that to be factual. I have no idea. I've never had to land without brakes. And it just seems a little terrifying, to be honest with you. I wouldn't even know what to do. I would go into panic mode. Honest
If you got
truth.
if you got wheels, you don't have to worry about it, man. I mean, you still kind of need those brakes, but you just use your throttle to control the descent, which is a question I have for Jim. The LZ near Kitty Hawk, can I take off with wheels, or you think it's pretty much a foot launch zone only?
I think you're fine with both. Yeah, I mean, it's a decent little airstrip. It's
Okay.
it's in excellent condition. You've got the trees are, you know, amply wide, but just not as wide as most other airfields that I've flown in my short experience. But you know, on a calm day, it shouldn't be a problem. On a trike, I don't know. I think it would be less of a problem. But I've only had 2 trike flights, so I can't speak for much experience there.
Got you. I don't have too much experience with trees personally, but Shane does. I think he's has some tree experiences.
Yeah, they grow on you.
Yeah, nice. I see what you did there.
What? Well, all right, we'll just leave that alone. All right. So, what trees? I mean, we got palm trees here. A couple. Well, if you fly the compound, I will tell anybody and everybody that ever flies the compound, you have your palm trees, and then you have these clumps of really dark green, very tall trees. They're called Australian pines. And I don't know why it does this, but the trees actually are kind of weak. So when the wind blows they actually tilt. And you get on the back side of those, for whatever reason, it's as turbulent as any turbulence you've ever gotten into. I don't know why it makes such a difference, because you can actually fly below the palm trees and never hit any of that. It's just these clumps of trees that just stay away from them. Climb high above them or go really far around them. Outside of that, the compound, the only thing you have to worry about there is there's a big set of power lines, high voltage power lines to the west end. You can't miss them. They're huge. And watch out for alligators. That's about the only 3 things you need to worry about.
You said alligators didn't bother you, remember?
No, alligators. No, I'm saying you guys need to worry out. I'm not. So I did a live on Facebook, and just as I ended it, I was getting lower and lower to the ground, and I was over the ground. I wasn't over the water, the canal, which everyone calls Alligator Alley. And just as I happened to hit the end button, I look up, and there's like an 8-foot gator completely out of the water. I mean, head to tail out of the water. And it lifts its body up to turn, but it just happened to turn towards me. And it gave me that little full throttle, hit the brake pucker factor. And I was like, oh, I wish I had a chase cam, because I wasn't more than a foot off the ground when that all, or 2 foot off the ground when that all happened. I was just like, oh, dude, that gator would have had me if I wasn't paying attention. So other words, pay attention to flying, not your phone.
Just a little baby 8-footer, man. You'll be okay. When they
Yeah.
get over 11
Yeah.
foot, then you gotta worry.
Mm-hmm.
I thought Eric and Jade were going to go to the beaches in North Carolina. You still interested in doing
Yeah,
that?
they're talking about going there after Moonshiners. Go ahead, Jay.
Yep, we're going right after we leave Moonshiners. We're heading up there and we're doing some more kiteboarding training like we did 2 years ago also. But yes, we'll have the paramotors along and it's sounding pretty interesting.
How long are you going to be there?
I believe the entire week. We stay down in Frisco, way down at the bottom of the island.
Did y'all hear her say kiteboarding?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You know what that is, right? Where you're on a board and you got the wing, you're flying in the ocean. You're going skimming over the top of the sharks. Yeah.
The sharks.
Yeah, I got up on day 2, 2 years ago, and on day 2, and we were on the sound side, and the instructor says, "Oh," and we were out probably mile out off of shore, and it was waist deep. It was awesome. And I was like, "Are there any sharks in here?" As I'm kind of looking around, and he's like, "No, they're way out there." Well, I got up and I started heading way out there, and I started freaking out when I couldn't hear my instructor anymore on the boat. So they had to come chase me down after I finally kind of gave up because I didn't want to go out any further out there where the sharks were.
Sharks are more than likely in the surf. They're not super far out normally. They more or less congregate in the waves. Just so you know, most people
Yeah.
get bit in less than waist deep water.
Yeah.
That's what I
Yeah.
was in. Waist deep water.
I quit
you'll be
swimming
fine.
in the ocean when I started fishing in it. And I was catching 6-foot sharks in 3 foot of water. I was like, yeah, I'm not swimming out there right now.
And you know me, Shane, with my glowing white Wisconsin skin.
Yeah, they just see right through your transparency.
Flamingos like shrimp and sharks like flamingos. I know that. So
Great.
I would stay out of the water.
Oh boy.
I know sharks like shrimp.
Yeah, man. Well, Jim, you want to hang out a little longer with us and hang out, or it doesn't matter to me. I don't know what your schedule is for tonight. You got a hair appointment or something?
So you're inviting me to leave now?
No.
Well,
No, I just don't want you to feel like you have to hang out. I mean, the rest of them do, but
is Jim willing to talk about more of his instructor training experience?
Sure. I'm
Love
willing
to
to talk
hear
about whatever.
Yeah, I've hesitated to ask you about that. I wasn't sure what you wanted ready to talk about yet. But before we move on from Kitty Hawk, you talked about how to get there and how to fly it. But what was going through your mind the first time you were in the air and you saw it? I mean, and you were thinking about the significance of what had happened there. I mean, what were you thinking?
I suppose I wasn't so much thinking about the monument as I was just focused on the flight and the guy that was there with me. So I don't think I was appreciating it as much as I could have been. When I was driving away, I was looking at the monument as like, you know what, I'm driving away from something that's historic here. I need to do this right the next time. So I guess if there was any advice I would give to anybody else is take your time, slow down, appreciate it. I think I sped through that a lot faster than I needed to, and I could have hung out and appreciated it a whole lot more.
Excellent advice.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
It's not something I could see myself doing, just going there to fly and not appreciate the actual historic value of it, you know.
I think that just hit us all. I think that hit us all the same exact way. I think we can all see ourselves just going, we want to fly, going fly and come back going, oh, what did I just do? And not look at exactly, because all we want to do is get up in the air and take off. That's a really good point, Jim. I never thought about it that way, but man, it makes total sense. How many times have we all gotten to a new area and just want to get up in the air and we don't actually look like at the area? And when you're talking Kitty Hawk, that's first in flight. It's not, they weren't born there. That's basic. So
it's going to be a first for me. I have never flown a beach, and there's a good chance that I'm not going to make it to a beach between now and Moonshiners. I don't have any plans to travel in July, but there's a good chance that my first beach that I fly will be Kitty Hawk.
How about after
And,
Moonshiners?
Right after Moonshiners, exactly.
You go to that? You're gonna go
Yeah.
there? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that's always been the plan. I basically have a month to travel of August and to do basically what I want to do. I want to go all the way up to Maine. I want to fly with some people in New Jersey and Pennsylvania on the way up. And but yeah, flying Kitty Hawk, man, my first beach flight at Kitty Hawk, I couldn't imagine anything better, man. Let's do it.
So what is everybody's opinion of maybe leaving midday Saturday to go to, because I have to be back to work on Monday. So it's kind of a time crunch for me, to be honest with you. My wife does too, and I know that Nick Preeny has to be back at work on Monday. He's actually on the West Coast, so he's going to drive over Friday night, stay the night here, and then we're going to pack up Saturday morning and head to Moonshiners. And I know we have to get back. It's a 10-hour drive, so I'd have to leave Saturday early, if weather's permitting. I'd have to leave Saturday early to do that Sunday morning flight, and then I'd have to head home after that. I wouldn't be able to do anything else and fly, come back, land, and head home. So I have no idea if I'll actually be able to do it this trip. But there's nothing saying I can't take a long weekend and go up there and meet up with some of you and do it. I don't know.
That little thing called weather too, we can't quite predict.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
you got friends in North Carolina. I mean, you're talking to them right now. And
Yeah. Where's Ben?
Yeah, so
I didn't know.
I'm a friend. Hey, man.
Hey, you're
We're
the backup plan, it sounds like.
No.
Man.
I would absolutely love to go up there and do it. If it all works out, great. If it doesn't, then next time. But honestly, North Carolina is not that far from me, and I could make that trip. If it's just me, that's not that bad. I could do that. I could leave here Thursday after work, be there Friday morning, and ready to rock and roll.
Well, it looks like Grandpa's kicking back in his recliner now. That's appropriate.
He gets around, doesn't he?
Oh yeah, well, and the pool's right there. Kids are hanging with us, so we got the grandkids and the kids. So, it's busy over here. Tomorrow I got a new student in, so it's 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. or later, sun up to sundown tomorrow. So, it's nice to be able to hang out with the family a little bit and go swimming. I am interested in doing this Kitty Hawk thing. So you guys were saying leave a little bit early from Moonshiners to go to Kitty Hawk and fly? Is that what I'm hearing?
If the weather's good, I'd have to talk to Nick and my wife to see if they would want to do it. Oh wait, somebody's in the waiting room. Who's in the waiting room?
Is Moonshiners this weekend?
Oh, it's Linda. I'm so
No, it's
Yeah, Moonshiners is like the very beginning of August, right? Like 4th through 7th or something like that.
4th through the 8th. So that's what is that? Thursday to Sunday?
Wednesday.
Wednesday. Yeah, I'm sorry. Wednesday to Sunday. Linda, I'm sorry. It took me so long to figure out you were in the waiting room. I'm sorry. I just seen it. This waiting room thing is for the birds. I have to pay attention. Back and forth. But yeah, I mean,
Zoom is back and
no
forth.
bell goes off. You don't have any kind of notification, or
I don't see it. I have the chat up. I have YouTube up, and then I have the little box with whoever's speaking for Zoom. And sometimes it'll pop up at the bottom of the screen, and sometimes it doesn't. It's just I just keep going back and forth just to make sure that no one's in there. And sometimes it says someone's in the waiting room. Sometimes it doesn't.
You can
I
leave
just-
that
it's
if you click the participants and leave that
Right.
off to the side, you'll be able to see up on top if someone's waiting. I've noticed that.
Yeah,
So I
but
don't know.
you have, well, maybe I can do medium screen. Oh no, okay. I'll do it this way. So I've got I don't have it shrunk all the way down to one little box. It's taking up half the screen. I just need to see the chat. I don't need to see myself or anyone else in the on YouTube. See, now I just lost it. Yeah, this is not easy, dude. This whole doing the host thing is kind of a pain in the butt, to be honest with you.
Tell me about it.
Look at me. Every time I'm good, I rebooted this thing even before the show, and then it's all good. And last night it was fine. Tonight, oh, we're all good, and then bye-bye. And then then I wait, come back on, and then what, 20 minutes later, oh no, we're leaving now. Then I leave. It's like, what the heck
So-
is going on?
So is there anywhere else you guys want to fly that's on your bucket list? I'll ask everybody on the panel and everybody in the chat if you could type in maybe a bucket list place to fly that you guys would want to do. I know we can't fly the Grand Canyon because of the tourist helicopters or whatever.
Oh God,
But
don't do that.
I would absolutely love to be going at ground level and then go off the cliff of the Grand Canyon to where it just drops and just keep flying straight across. I don't know why that is stuck in my head as something I want
I
to
don't
do.
know. No, don't do it.
I would
That sounds
absolutely
cool. I
love
would that too. Yeah.
Dangerous.
Wait, where?
Grand Canyon, I've done it in
Grand Canyon.
helicopter.
The canyons will suck you right up. Be
I
done.
wonder, I
Oh,
wonder if there's other canyons out there that we could do the same thing.
Dude, the deepest, narrowest canyon in North America is the Black Canyon of the Gunnison. It's not very wide, but it's several thousand feet deep. It's in Colorado. And we drive by it every year, man. It is an incredible, beautiful place. And it's in the middle of a national forest. So I think it's flyable.
it's
All
inside
right.
of a national forest, so I think you got to be over. I know here in Florida, whenever you get over a national park or a state park, you got to be like 500 feet or something like that.
National forest rules are totally different than national parks.
Right.
I would say, yeah.
You can fly out national forest all you want. You camp in them. You can boom
That's
14. The national parks are different.
Hey, Tony, I heard so Tony put in the chat that he thought Linda dropped the F-bomb. She did not. She said those valleys will suck. Suck. I literally, when I first heard it, I was like, oh, Linda just dropped it. And I
No.
replayed it. But it sounded
Oh.
very, very
I said-
close,
I
Linda.
think I said freaking. No, I didn't say. did I
No,
say-
you said those valleys will suck. And I was just like, what? I did. I wasn't the only one, apparently. I'm telling you, I wasn't up.
Okay.
Brian got a good
But
one
we
there
know-
with the Hoover Dam. That'd be awesome, man.
Hoover Dam.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's the first Tucker video I saw. A lot of people say it's the McDonald's video. For me, it was the Hoover Dam video. And then I got to meet the guys that were in. I met Tucker. I met Ross. Ross was the guy videoing most of that video. To be able to do that, to fly, I mean, there's no Alps. You pretty much accept that if you have an engine out, you're going to do a water landing downstream of the dam. And that's pretty dangerous. But
Yeah, I would say. And then you could just, if not, then you just fly right over there, and Angela and Tony, and you just head right for Vegas. that easy. You just fly over them and Vegas is right there, right, Angela? Right, Tony? They know. Yeah, yeah.
I know we're not allowed to fly over people or congested areas, but flying over the strip would be pretty cool.
That's what I'm saying.
Well,
There
you
you
could always
go.
be on the Paradigm team. They did it legally at
Yeah.
night.
There you go.
They got a
Yeah,
waiver
they're gonna be like,
night.
Yeah, they always get waivers to fly at night because they do night shows with the lights and stuff at the different fly-ins. But they've actually flown the strip at night. Got a waiver for the FAA for that.
Oh, wow. Very
Oh.
cool.
Yeah, there's plenty of light though there on the strip. I guess they don't.
Yeah,
You're not being able to see.
you got thermals in the middle of the night there too, probably coming off of the pavement, man. It's kind of brutal. I've been there in June, and
Oh,
the
yeah,
heat.
you don't want to be there now. Angela said it's like 114 right now. So, yeah, you don't want to be there. But I just want to give a shout out to the chatters. My chatters.
hi, chatters.
You got to make them feel appreciated, you know.
How many people do we there, and how many thumbs up we got?
16.
It's a little off.
22 watching.
That's cool. Hey, they know where to hang out on Tuesdays. They're no dummies.
Hey, I always say this, I greatly appreciate everybody watching, but I do this for fun. I'm thankful to have great people on the panel, but I never truly, none of that bothers me, like the thumbs up, no thumbs, whatever. I'm just hanging out with a bunch of great people, and it's awesome. I'm thankful every time that I get on this show and there's people showing up. I'm like, wow, all right, you guys,
thanks for showing up.
Well, I was on the fence about thumbs up or thumbs down, but now you say it that way, Shane. Thumbs up.
Well,
I don't know.
that's the end of that.
I don't know how we went from 16 thumbs up to 21, and now we have 21 watching. We had 19 a second ago. I was like, all right.
Nice.
There you go.
No, I do thank the panel. I thank everybody in the chat for hanging out with us and dealing with my shenanigans. It's awesome. This is what it is at a fly-in. This is the conversations we all have as we're sitting around waiting to fly, or just got done with flying and just waiting on food to be done or whatever. We're just doing this. So if you've never been to a fly-in, this is similar, but not quite the same. It is fly-ins are, it's not necessarily about the flying, to be honest with you. It is literally about hanging out with good people. I absolutely love meeting people that I see every week in on different shows, and actually getting to meet them. Dave Aller, Kobe Cox. I just at Bad Apples, I ran into them. I haven't met John Wayne yet. I am looking forward to it. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that Kylo fly in after Thanksgiving. That's like 1,000-mile drive for a couple days. I don't know if I could do that. That just
I'll video
want.
and send you the video. I plan on going.
I just read Walter's name. Sean, how far is that from your house? It's not that far,
Just
right?
it's a hop, skip, and a jump to Kyle's.
Skipping it, jump.
Well, at the rate that plane tickets, I could fly to Ohio round trip right now for $65. Maybe I could fly to Arkansas and you could just drive me down there and let me borrow some gear.
Oh,
Are you
yeah.
serious?
Oh, that works. Absolutely.
Oh, that sounds like a plan.
Well, somehow you're
see,
up now, by the way.
yeah, I know. Yeah, I don't know how that happened. We got, I don't know how that happens at all, but it is appreciated.
I've got 4 fake
Yeah,
accounts for you, and I thumbs up to you.
I appreciate it, man, greatly.
I know. I'm just like, I don't fly yet, but I'm just like the paragroupie. You know, I just hang out all week long with everybody.
What
know.
paragroupie is?
But you're,
Hey,
you're gonna
I'm
fly
a
in Michigan then, what I
paragroupie.
hear, right?
I'm a paragroupie.
Sean, is that website
I
available?
think there's plans to get you in there.
I'm not buying any more
I think there's plans to
.coms,
get Linda
guys.
in
I'm
there in
done.
I heard
I just like
Michigan.
a
What about
paragroupie.
Michigan?
I
Michigan
think
is
there's a
Jim,
fly-in or something going on in Michigan, and people were talking about getting Miss Linda up in the air. I think
In
that's the plan that they're trying to work.
Yes, in St. John's, Michigan. Yes.
How
Dave,
far is that
Mr.
from you?
David Wolf, yes, Paramotor Crazy.
How far is that from you?
He's like, well, you know, we might get this going in September. So yeah, I'll be out there with my sign, you know, like hitchhiking. I want to go to a tandem. Take me to St.
And-
John. St.
and if
John's
you-
is only like an hour away.
If you guys ever wonder where the next fly-in is, all you have to do is go to flyindirectory.com
Oh, really?
and fly-in directory.
Fly in
is there another
directory?
website we can go to?
What?
Isn't there another website, Sean? Where we could find calendars and other
Oh,
stuff
yeah.
and other paramotor pilots?
PPGzone.com.
Well, pretty much PPG Zone houses all of that. We just got the .coms that go to those specific places.
Okay.
Sean, I'm not sure I'm comfortable with all this pool, recliner, bed thing.
About what? About what?
Man, I'm shutting your video off if you head for the toilet, just so you know.
Oh, you must have missed it then. Because I did change into some clothing, so you know, you must have missed that part.
They're gonna
Well.
use all in the pool. I'll just like, and now he's laying on your bed. He's like, oh yeah, I'm done. He's gonna get his beauty sleep.
Oh yeah, because tomorrow morning comes really early.
Oh. good
Hey,
Lord.
there's something going on
I'm-
tomorrow. I can't remember what it was. Seems like there's another show going on Wednesday night. I can't. Anybody know what's going on? I can't remember.
I
Girls
think I
just wanna fly.
That's
think
my
I know the
girl. That's my girl.
Girls just want to fly. Is this some girls only show now that's going on, or what?
Girls only.
Girls only.
So if I were-
Na, na, na,
If
na.
I want to watch it, can I join in on the chat, or
You can
Am I not
join in and chat all you want. Please do.
Yeah.
Nice things.
Your opinion doesn't count though.
Sure it does.
okay?
Unless you're a
No
woman.
mansplaining.
Yeah, you just won't be
Yeah.
jumping on the Zoom because it's all about the girls.
Hey, Jade.
What's
Jade,
up, dude?
after we have a question from Angela. She says, Jade, do you do shirts on order? So the shirts that you've made, do you make them for orders, or are you just keeping them to yourself and being selfish?
Yeah. Well, I need to get back at the computer to start making some more orders. So yes, I do. Eric and I just did a vinyl order the other day for EAA. For
Oh, really?
South 40, they're parking planes, Alexis, Quintana, and
Never mind.
one of our local guys, they asked for some vinyl. So Eric was teaching me how to do layers of vinyl. It went okay.
We talking about like LP vinyl, like the 75s or the 45s or what?
Uh-huh.
Really? None of y'all old
Young,
know
She
that
don't, she
joke?
don't remember stuff like that.
Oh, yes, I wasn't thinking that. Oh my
Oh,
gosh,
man.
what is that thing down there that PPG Grandpa's got?
Creepy.
I know he's throwing me off. He's got the baby face going.
Let me turn the light
just-
on and I'll show you. Hang on.
Hey, I do want everybody to know that you all, and I mean every person in the chat and on the panel, failed the bucket list thing, by the way. No one said their bucket list was to fly with me. It's just
Oh.
so mean.
Oh,
Put that out.
my My microphone must have been on mute. My bucket list is to fly with Shane.
I said Florida and Eric said he did.
I've already flown with Shane.
Been there, done that.
Florida.
I was gonna say, Shane,
All
I've
right.
already flown with you, so that's not on my bucket list anymore.
You're like, yeah, he's like, that's old news.
Okay, so who have you flown with? That's the greatest inspiration. Just kidding. No, I've literally flown with almost everybody on the panel. Sean, if he would get up, or Will would get up before. Actually, I flew with Will, but Sean likes to just wait until midday to fly, and then I don't think we've flown in the same air together.
I enjoy the midday flight.
Yeah, but I'm not flying midday right this moment. I'm not at that skill level, or am I comfortable with midday unless it's overcast, and it wasn't overcast for me.
Or if you go to the beach.
Yeah, I mean, you live in Melbourne, right? I mean, don't you live near a beach where you can fly midday? You never done
I
it?
may
I
or
think
may
there was a
not.
podcast or something on that recently.
No, I've literally left here 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock in the afternoon and gone to the beach and flown. That's not the same thing. At Dave Purden's last year, I flew for the first time with Jason Russell Smith and Smart Car Brian. For the first time we did, that was a first for a lot of things for me on that trip. It was my first, I don't call it a water foot drag. It was a tiptoe, because each toe tapped the water and then I pulled away but my foot touched the water as I was flying. So that is
You walked on
water
water.
foot drag. And then I flew 2 states on the same flight, which was over the Ohio River to Kentucky and back, which if anybody does Dave Purden's, which I plan to do this year, as of right now, Dave Purden's is by far my favorite place to fly because of I'm from Florida, so I call them mountains, but they may just be foothills to some of you. It was absolutely just gorgeous. But I did my first midday flight there, and it actually was not cloudy at all. It was just a really weird day where there was no wind. It was not very hot. And yeah, I did hit some thermals. You can actually see where the corn or the soy was like darker spots. And if you flew over that, you got rocked. And it wasn't dramatic by no means, but it did make me kind of go, oh, I didn't like that. But now knowing what I know and my confidence level, my skill levels with flying, I wouldn't be in such a panic mode, if you will. I'd be more comfortable with the bumps. I've discovered and Jason in the chat, Jason Russell Smith, he'll actually tell you, he used to fly with me he was there from when I went to school. He was there my first flight without the instructor. There was times when I flew and I'd turn around, come right back and land. I'm like, don't go up, dude, you're going to die. And he'd come back 2 hours later, like, it was perfect. I'm like, no, I almost died. He's like, no, you didn't. But now I'm just, I'm comfortable. There's a difference between confidence and cockiness. And I know that I still have limits, and I know that I'm not good enough to fly in conditions that I'm not comfortable in. So now we've flown a couple times together and some stuff, and he's like, man, I expected to turn around and see you heading back to the LZ. And I'm like, nope, I'm still here, hanging out, having a good time. My heart rate never even skip a beat. It just, after a while, your bump tolerance grows, and well, mine's getting there. I wouldn't say it's huge, but it's getting there. I'm comfortable more so.
I would like to know when my bump tolerance gets better.
You want more. Angela wants to know if you saw Tony's post.
Yeah, I do too, man.
That's
I
for
was just
Shane.
catching up with the chat.
Oh yeah. Shane.
What's that?
Angela
Tony's
wants to know if you saw Tony's post.
Yeah, he has a bucket
Oh,
list
is that-
item in the chat.
Yeah, I actually let that comment. I approved that comment. So
Yeah, but you didn't respond.
What did Tommy say? I can't see it on my phone, so you guys have to show me how I can watch this but still watch the chat at the same time. Like, how are you guys doing that?
Shane's trailer, Linda. That's on his
Huh?
bucket list. His
We
bucket
got some
list is to poop in
background
Shane's
too, so I'm
trailer.
gonna talk and move my head out of the way.
Yeah, every time he's in the chat, it's something about pooping in my trailer, and
Oh, okay. Oh, that's funny. Okay, yeah.
I'm gonna go from 559 subscribers after that happens to 557 because Angela and Tony will leave me. Never see them again. Oh,
That's funny.
good Lord.
Brian, you missed a good weekend, man, flying at Pilot Mountain. That was awesome.
Man, I know it, man. I wanted to hang around. I was invited to do so, but I just had other things, other commitments I had made. My brother and his tribe, he's got 5 kids, so I call him a tribe. They came down. We all hung out, man. We spent some time at the pool. We did some fishing and that kind of thing. And then I went and had a family reunion on the 4th of July. So first family reunion, like, I don't know, a year and a half because of COVID. So I had a bunch going on, man. I really wanted to be there for sure, but I had other commitments.
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
Well, there's
Big
talk about
Was that
making
Pilot
it.
Mountain, was that something that you guys arranged special, or was that planned? Is that something you
It's
do every
something
year?
that the local group tries to get together every year. We didn't do it last year because of COVID, but we did it the year before. Just kind of get, a few guys together and go out, camp out, and fly around Pilot Mountain in the area. It's beautiful. And during the day we'll go to like this time we went to Hanging Rock and did the trail there, or they'll go up to Pilot Mountain and walk around it. It was just a nice get together.
Was there any hot air balloons in the sky to fly with this time, or
None.
no?
Didn't see any, but there is talk about making it a little bit bigger of an event. So we'll see how that
Do
goes.
they have space for a lot of people to camp? I don't know anything about their facilities and that kind of thing.
I want to say they've got electric, sewer, and all that. I think they've got 50 sites.
Oh,
Brian and I will be there next year.
Oh,
yeah.
awesome, man. It was just,
Hey, sign me up. I'd go to that.
no, sorry, Shane, it's invite only, man.
Hey, watch Will disappear.
Yeah.
Wait, isn't it changed? Wait a minute.
I'll bring Krista, Will. Does that make you happy?
I'm back. Yes, that'll make me happy. It's always nice to see Krista, Sister Krista.
She's a nightmare. She's nice to everybody until you marry it. No, I'm just kidding. She's freaking awesome.
Hey, let me
I
tell you,
literally.
you are
She-
really blessed, Shane, to have her, and
I
how
know.
supportive she is.
No, dude. I'm telling you right now, I never hide it. That woman is a saint, and truly, I mean, we have our issues, which any couple do, but I mean, she puts up with my nonsense like there's no tomorrow, and just comes back for more. I've been trying to get rid of her for 27 years. Golly.
Hi, Red.
I mean, we-
Red.
Wait.
Oh, there's your baby. There's your puppy.
Oh, he's squirming. He's
Oh.
squirming.
Mark,
He's
a
a
comment.
pound puppy now. That's right.
Look at it. Oh, he loves you.
Yeah,
You-
spoiled
you-
right, this guy.
He's like all sleepy. Did you wake him up?
Yeah, he was oh, he was laying on the couch sleeping. I picked
Life
Look.
is rough, man.
right there. Look,
What's up, Red?
there's the internet.
Hey,
That's the
Red.
world. The world is watching you.
There's the internet.
There's
Like-
the internet.
He's like,
Can I eat the internet? Does it taste like bacon?
I know.
Unless there's a hamburger there.
It's got to have something to chew on at all times. And the hand
Yeah.
works fine.
Yeah,
He's-
no
he's so
problem there.
sneaky. He thinks-
Yeah, I don't think he'll be at Moonshiners, man. I'm gonna be gone a whole month. He's gonna have to stay home and take care of mom and dad while I'm gone, man.
Aw.
I do,
Yeah,
What is your next thing that you got on your calendar, Brian? I mean, you snuck
Oh.
off and did your trike qual. I didn't know that was coming up. So how about advertising a little bit of what you do have coming up?
Actually, man, I don't have anything planned for the month of July. I'll get my greenhouse as ready as I can to be low maintenance for my parents while I'm gone. I'm cutting back a bunch of old tomato plants and stuff like that. Besides getting the greenhouse ready and helping take care of things around here, I don't have any plans for the month of July, really. Beginning of August, I'll head to Moonshiners and I'll be gone for about a month, and then come back for a week or two, and then I go to Colorado for a couple of weeks. So in September, a lot of traveling in August,
Are you-
September. But I got some downtime for the next month.
Are you gonna make any chance to go to Dave Purden's in September?
It's gonna be
Right.
tough for me, man, because traveling for a whole month of August for the most part, and then the second 2 weeks of September. When is Dave Purden? Is probably the first 2 weeks in September sometime, right?
Yeah, early.
I
September.
honestly, if you go to PPG Zone, we can find out. I honestly don't know when it is. I don't care when it is. I'm going. Right now, I'm holding Mountain City, Tennessee. I'm trying to compare because I fly flat places, Florida, North Carolina. When I went to Vail, there wasn't very much. There are hills there, but nothing like, say, Dave Purden's. But I'm looking forward to flying and more mountains. It's just a different scenery, things I'm not used to, and I just want to see everything I can see from the air. And Florida, I mean, it's flat. You can, whether you're flying at aviators or you're flying over at the compound, it's flat. You know what I mean? There's only so many palm trees and cows you can see. So I'm looking forward to Mountain City and seeing what it has to offer. I'm hoping that it compares, if not better, than Dave Purden's. I absolutely loved Dave Purden's. I didn't want to leave when we had to leave. It sucked.
It's the 3rd.
So yeah, Dave,
of September.
what's that?
The 3rd through the 6th of September.
Okay.
You know, it's possible that I could potentially plan to hit that on my way home. I don't know. You know, right now I can't make any. I definitely want to go to that one. I've heard y'all talk about it for the last year, and especially Shane talk about it, and it sounds like it's a pretty awesome one to go to. But can't
There's a
can't
good
always make it through all.
there is a good chance I may end up leaving work and going. I'll leave. I don't know for sure. I have to find out if we're allowed to show up early. If we are, then I will be there early. Because that Monday on the 6th is actually Labor Day. So for a lot of people, they don't have to work that day. Which I think last year we packed up and left Monday. Or actually, I think we left Saturday morning. I don't
But
remember.
if you have to, you're prepared to get conveniently sick, right?
Yeah, I mean, my wife's cousin, they just went up. My wife's cousin lives about an hour and a half from there. So worst case scenario, I mean, if I can't come up early, then I could just go there for a couple days before and then fly there at their house. They got 28 acres, and they don't care if I fly over their horses or their cattle. They don't really care. But yeah, then I could just show up at Dave Purden's on the day it's supposed to be and have fun.
Just going to work
It's all
scared,
good.
man. No big deal.
Yeah.
Tell that, hey, I'm afraid I'm not going to make it to work tomorrow. Get it?
what did you just put in the chat about anyone have the website for pre-registered? Do you have it, or are you asking a question out
Well, because
to the chat?
JR Paramotor said, what did he say? Something, he said something about pre-registering for it. So wanted to know if he had the actual, I was looking to see if I could find it online.
So are
Only
y'all
150.
pre-registered for moonshiners?
What now?
Are y'all pre-registered for moonshiners as well? Or I was gonna ask the same question.
Yeah, if I can, I will.
Got you.
I think on their Facebook page, they ask if you're going or not. I did hit going. But in the in Sean's video that he had not too long ago with the guys on there again from Moonshiners, they said you could show up whenever you want. It's $10 a night as the event. I think it's $20 as the event's going on, and it's $10 a night if the event is not going on. So if you show up early, prepare to pay. Sean, am I wrong about this? If I'm wrong, let me know.
No, you're correct.
I believe I
You're
heard
correct.
they're before the fly-in, the dates, so August 4th to the 8th. If you show up before or after that, you pay $10 a night. During the fly-in from the 4th to the 8th, it's $20 a night.
I would imagine they'd have a limited number of spots though, wouldn't they? So,
Well, they
From what
said
they
that
said,
they said that they can put whoever comes there, they'll find a spot for them.
yeah, they have the whole airport. They said that they have two specific spots picked out, but if it gets too crowded, then they have a whole nother field that they can throw people onto. So, I mean, I guess it's kind of like bad apples. I mean, they overfilled and they started putting people on the other side of the pond, on the other side of the runway, which seemed to me like a good idea. As someone that would have gotten stuck over there, I'd have been like, yeah, that's awesome, because you only have to deal with a few people, but then you're not in the middle of everything either. So those guys were actually taken off between the campers and the pond, and they didn't have to deal with the runway, which kind of seemed intriguing to me. Angela, Dave Purdens is in Portsmouth, Ohio. I think I said that right. Portsmouth.
Portsmouth. Portsmouth.
Portsmouth, whatever. Actually, funny thing is, my partner at work, he is from there. And I told him I was going there for a fly, and he's like, "Oh my God, I used to live there." I was like, "Okay, that's cool," but we, yes, DP, you nailed it. Now we were going to try this last year, and I'm kind of glad we didn't. Down by the river, the town runs next to the river, the Ohio River. There is a very large grassy area. I guess if the river overflows, it kind of gets into this little area. But I was wanting to land there, and then there's like 2 blocks in is a little pub where you can go in and eat or whatever. I wanted to fly in there. I don't honestly think that my skill level at that time of the last year was up to par, but I think this year it could also it could be definitely a possibility. Mark Elroy put information for, he put an email address and a phone number. Is that for Dave Purdens, Mark? I gotta wait on that. No, Cincinnati is not near. Cincinnati is like west, way west of Portsmouth. It's closer to, what is that, Virginia? Chef Johnny is in the house. Texas style barbecue and cuisine. What's going on, sir? Chef Johnny's in Texas, where they do real barbecue. Just ask him; he'll tell you.
There you go. Awesome. Now I'm hungry.
Yeah,
Doing some
yeah, freaking. What's that, Jade?
You want a slice?
Sure.
What'd you say, Jade?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Because I heard,
is for Dave Purden, Shane. That Mark.
say that again, Will?
The email address Mark put on there was for Dave Purden.
Okay. So if you guys need the info for Dave Purdens, there it is in the chat. So who was it? JR Paramotor that it was 150 pilots only allowed, or their field? I will say their field is not very as big, not even close. Uh-oh. Dave Purden's field is not as big as Bad Apples by no means. But their area is just amazing to fly, by the way. Just absolutely gorgeous. If you go back, if you guys, any of you guys want to go watch my video of Dave Purden's fly-in, it was absolutely, the area is just amazing.
They got any hay bales over there?
No, that's the video where I seen that giant. There must have been 100 pilots fly over this soybean field, and then I just must have been just low enough and just at the right area that gigantic buck jumped up just as I started going over it and started just plowing the soybeans to get away from me. But he was bedded down. I never saw him until I just happened to catch some movement under my, right under me, and this gigantic butt just started plowing through the corn. I was like, are the soybeans? I was like, holy crap. I swung around to try to get a better picture of him, and he was gone back into the woods. But dude, the thing was a monster. Biggest buck I've ever seen in Ohio, and I've seen a couple big ones. I know I got one hanging on my wall in the bedroom.
That's cruel.
Yeah, man,
I
that's
hit-
terrible. I can't believe you would do that.
They quit kicking after a month or two.
What's
The hard-
thing about that thing hanging in the bedroom wall?
Oh man, I've got three. I've got a shoulder mount. I've got two just antler mounts, and then I have a turkey, my first and only turkey that I ever killed in Georgia, hanging in there. She knows. I mean, what's that, Will?
I didn't say anything.
Who said something?
I thought about saying something about big racks, but I didn't.
Got him. I gotta stop right there. You're gonna get me in trouble.
Yeah.
But yeah, actually that Dave Purden video that I have, you'll see my midday flight, and you can actually tell it's a midday flight because the wing is sitting a little further back as I'm throttling, and as soon as I let off a little bit, the shadow goes over my legs in the video, and it's pretty. I mean, you literally can tell that the sun is directly overhead. But yeah, I had a fantastic time at Dave Purden's, and every flying I've been to so far, I'm trying to say, I always compare it to that. Not saying that the flyings that I've been to have been not good, they're just not Dave Purden's. So I'm a big fan of there, and I'm hoping that I can now say Dave Purden's and Moonshiners are the two places to go.
That's a
Hey,
good
Because
thing.
I absolutely
And Bad Apple.
I mean, that's a good
no
thing.
Bad Apples has the most amazing LZ. The grass is phenomenal. It's level for the most part. It's a freaking awesome place to take off from. But what do you see? So I'm a visual,
Lots of
like I want to
sense.
see different things. I mean, I flew to the Mind every time I took flight. And I mean, there's only so much aqua blue water you can see before you're like, okay, what else is there to see? And I almost went, I think Mark Elroy said he went to they went to the river, which is pretty far away. And we were heading there one day, and I don't know, we hit some crappy air and I was like, yeah, I'm not going to deal with this all the way there and all the way back. So we turned around and I think we ended up doing maybe a 10 or 15 mile big circle. And then as soon as I got back to the LZ, I was like, I'm landing. I'm good. So, I mean, I don't mind flying in crappy wind, but I want to just be comfortable. And if I have to sit there and monitor my wing the entire time, then I'm 9 times out of 10, I'm heading to the LZ to land because I would rather be hands off and doing nothing but watching the ground and seeing what I can see and keeping my head on a swivel, watching for airplanes and other paramotor pilots.
I can't help but say something, but Sean was just walking through and we saw his aquaponics setup briefly with his, was that koi
I didn't
fish
want-
he had?
I didn't want to interrupt you, but since you said something, let me go back out here real quick. I'll show you. Yeah, I just picked a tomato
Picked a tomato.
and ate
Yeah.
it. It was really
Uh-oh. You got to disconnect from your Wi-Fi. You're too far from it.
Yeah, your wife is streaming Netflix. It's messing it up.
really friendly. I can pet them and everything. And in the aquaponics, I got regular big old fat tomatoes. I've been picking them almost every day and eating them. Big old tomatoes, and we got the little cherry tomatoes too. This was a seed from a lemon, and now it's a big tree. Pretty cool. And I just put some watermelon seeds in here, so maybe we'll get some watermelon before the end of the year. But yeah, don't do anything to this. I don't have to feed the fish. The fish eat the algae. And
Amazing.
they poop. And then the pipe goes up, dumps it in here. They eat the poop, then they clean the water. It comes back over here. It's a big cycle.
That is so cool.
So how did that tomato taste, man? Was it was it crappy or was it pretty good?
It was just absolutely amazing. It puts anything that you get at the store to shame. Even Whole Foods. This is just so much better than Whole Foods or anything, especially when you pick it. And it's so.
Hey,
Go ahead and pick another one. Not quite ready.
hold on real quick, Sean. Jason Russell Smith just made a really good point in the chat. He says, why not on the way up to Moonshiners to hit Kitty Hawk first? That's a possibility.
That will put Brian going all the way over to the coast and then going back all the way to
And
the
then back.
and then
All right, never mind. Bad idea, Jason. Bad idea.
I
I mean, good for me, but not for.
I just
I'll
have to
send,
plan.
what's that?
What'd you say?
that was Brian.
Talking to me? Are you talking to me? Yeah. I was saying that I could go up.
Talking to me?
I could hit. Yeah, I could hit Kitty Hawk on the way up there. I just need to plan it. Right now, everybody's talking about doing it after Moonshiner, so that's what I'm planning on. So y'all just let me know,
Right.
man. I'm pretty flexible.
Look at that.
No, I
beautiful
can.
tomato.
I could quite possibly, like I said, I'd have to leave Moonshiners early if the weather permits at Kitty Hawk. There could be a possibility that I leave Saturday after the morning flight, get over there. Will, how far, how many hours is that from
I want to say it's like
Moonshiners to?
2.5 hours, somewhere thereabouts. Oh, Moonshiners is four and so about 4.5 hours, I think.
In opposite directions from you too, probably, right?
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
either way, though, it would be the same amount of driving for me.
Right. So Moonshiners is how far from you, Will?
It's about 4 hours away, 4.5 hours away.
You know,
And then
you know,
Kitty Hawk is about how far?
A couple hours away.
my suggestion would be, because weather will be a factor, if at all possible, let's plan to do it beforehand. And then if weather is an issue, maybe after Moonshiners is our backup plan.
That's a
You
good.
know, just a thought.
You know, I'm all for
That's
it.
a
Like I said, I'm
crazy
leaving
enough might
here.
work.
What's that, Jim?
I said, that's a crazy enough plan. It just might work.
Yeah.
No,
Nice.
I'm all for it, dude. I wouldn't think of, you know, the guys that want to meet there. What better people to fly with there? I mean, I would have been be all right with me. I ain't scared. As long as I don't get in no more trouble, I'll be all right. Shoot. All right. Well, anybody else got anything? We can cut out a little bit, a few minutes early if we got to. We
Yeah,
can.
I gotta go eat.
I just like to say I'm
All right.
jealous of Jim and all the fun that he's been having lately, man. Flying Kitty Hawk, training down at Aviator, training at Aviator, and then training at Aviator.
Yeah.
He gets it. But
Hey,
yeah.
Hey, Brian, have you had any wants or thoughts of wanting to train at Aviators or have people train anybody at Aviators? Did I not say that?
For me personally, going back, living in Florida is not really something that's in my future. But being exposed to the training process, other than being a student more recently with Red Pill Paramotors and seeing students almost achieve flight, I could see the draw in it. I think that maybe one day I might get an instructor rating and help people, but I don't think that I'll be going down to Florida to teach. I mean, I've got too many commitments here in Alabama.
Right. I was just kind of curious. I know you speak highly of Aviators and you got a strong passion for the sport. I was just kind of curious if that was in
I could
your
think of
wheelhouse.
nowhere better to go spend a month just working and as an intern to learn to be an instructor. I could think of, I mean, no better people to go work with personally.
Right.
But who knows what the future holds, man.
Who knows?
Hey,
All right.
John Wayne said he would go to Kitty Hawk.
Heck yeah. Let's do it.
Sounds good to me. We can get somebody from Aviator with a drone. We'd be doing all right.
I know a guy.
I'm still just baffled. I seen the guy using the drone and flying around the guys, and I never put two and two together until I watched the video, and I was just like, dude, that is some freaking beautiful videoing, and it just, to me, was made the whole video itself just so much more better. The views from the guys' helmet cams and stuff were great, but that drone flying, I mean, all angles, it was just crazy. I couldn't get enough of it.
Did everybody see the video?
What video are you talking about?
So Aviator
The
just put out
Aviator
a
show that you put out in that fight.
Yeah, I saw
yeah, and the drone footage. I don't know if me personally, as a paramotor pilot, I want a drone flying around me, but the guy that was flying the drone knew exactly what he's doing and how to do it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Reese is an incredible videographer, and he's a great drone pilot as well, a paramotor pilot. You definitely do not want just anybody flying a paramotor around you while you're flying your powered paraglider. Reese is one of those guys that I've met him a few times. I would definitely trust to do it. That guy's got some skills, and there's a reason he's working at Aviator doing what he's doing. They're putting out some good videos today. Those of y'all that are not watching them, I totally missed the live stream shows that Aviator used to do, but the series that they're putting out now on every Friday is just well, there's been comments along the lines of this is too good for YouTube, this is National Geographic content kind of thing, and I think Eric Fairwell appreciates that kind of feedback because they're putting Reese has got some skills, man, and I look up to him, and I look up to a lot of people when it comes to putting out videos, and We got one of them right here in the chat right now, Will Fly. This guy puts out some incredible videos. If you haven't been watching him, you need to be watching him. I mean,
True. I second that.
Thank you.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Watch the
Okay,
wheel right
Mark.
here.
Goes.
Awesomeness.
So after Moonshiners, just an FYI, Mark just sent me a screenshot of their whatever rules or regulations for Dave Purdon's. You do have to pre-register, and there's no showing up early. So I will be showing up early at my wife's cousin's house and flying out of their pasture, or actually out of their front yard. And then I'll show up on the day of and start having some fun. So anything else anybody else has got to say or want to say?
I appreciate you, Shane. Thanks for having the show.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
appreciate you
Yes. It was
not wearing your nightie to
Thank
bed.
Yeah.
Hey, Jim, thank you for coming on and being our guest tonight. You really got a few of us, if not a bunch of us, excited about flying Kitty Hawk. I mean, we're talking about maybe possibly leaving early from a fly-in to go to fly Kitty Hawk. So if it works out, great. If it doesn't, you know, it is what it is. So thank you guys all
Hey, I
for a
appreciate
great
it.
show. I had what's going on here? Now I got to figure all this out. I had a great night. Thank you. Oh, before I go, Jim,
What?
do you have a YouTube channel? Where can
I have
everybody
a what?
find? Do you have a YouTube channel or social media that you would like to share with us where people could follow you?
Yeah, but there's nothing posted on it. Sean gave me, I think it's paramotorguy.com. Something like
But
that.
what-
But it's just a website. There's nothing on there.
Why not? You're a
I guess I
paramotor
better get
pilot.
on
You're
that,
supposed
huh?
Yeah, you're supposed to have a dang.
If I don't have a YouTube channel, I'm not really a paramotor pilot, am I?
Technically, no.
Right.
So says the Tucker. Hey, when we're all done here,
Yeah.
somebody left a telescope on my porch. I don't know where it came from, but I'm gonna have to look into that. So let me get that done here.
Well,
Oh, I see what you did there. You have to look into it. So if you look into it, you'll probably see the moon or some stars. See what I did there? There's
Uh-huh.
a telescope.
For Uranus, you know, it's,
Oh, Jesus! We're losing control right now.
Quickly.
Right
so-
now, it's going down.
So I'm gonna go down the list so I don't forget anybody and make a jerk of myself again. Brian Haybell Waller, where can we meet or find you on social media?
ppgbrian.com, and that'll take you straight to my YouTube channel. You can check it out. I'm on Facebook, Brian Waller 31 on Instagram. I don't do Twitter, TikTok, or Tinder. So we'll see at those other places.
Yeah. Miss Linda Anderson, our little cheerleader. Where can we find
yeah.
you?
Yeah. ParamotorUSA.com or on Thursday night, paraglidingtalk.com with the awesomest hosts, Robert and Michael. So be there. Be
Sean
there.
Simon.
Well, hello.
All
Thank you very
right.
much for having me here. I enjoyed swimming and watching your show. You can always find me at ppggrandpa.com or iflyparamotors.com. Check out my flight school at paramotorarkansas.com. Thank you. We're out.
And Will Fly, where can we find you, sir?
You can find me at willflyppg.com or on YouTube, Will Fly, or on, at a busy intersection begging for money. Any one of those places.
and Miss Flying Flamingo, where can we find you?
You can find me tomorrow night at Girls Just Want to Fly. You can go to paramotorgirl.com or search Flying Flamingo Jade and be in the chat for us girls and
Right.
help cheer us on. We need the cheering from all you guys.
Yep, I'll be there on the chat, or I'll be with the chatters tomorrow night, be cheering. And
Thank
I
you.
get on there, hit that like. You know who's here right now.
That's right.
It's our cheerleader, Linda. I will tell everybody that has not seen the show yet. It is actually very entertaining. It is very informative. And if you're a male that has a female that is kind of on the edge of not really wanting to get into the sport or wanting to get into sport, Jade's show is actually very informative with female pilots that have started flying and are absolutely in love with it, and they have a woman's point of view. So for those female pilots that are concerned that that's not for them, maybe you guys ought to watch it, because it seriously is very helpful, and I've actually learned a few things from it myself. So, which by
So
the
the
way,
other
I already
thing-
knew. Hold on, I want to give you props. Hold on. Which, by the way, I already knew Jade would be an awesome YouTube channel, and she's doing a great job. Go, Jade, go.
Agreed.
And I just want to let you guys know that if you know any gals that, and not even PPG, I'm talking about their feet leave the ground to go in the air, into the clouds for anything. I've got coming up in the future, I've got a mother-daughter team coming on that do skydiving. So be pretty interesting also to hear about.
Cool.
That is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Alrighty, guys, we're gonna say goodnight now, and thank you all for the chat, those in the chat, and those on the panel. Again, I honestly don't think I could do this without you guys, so I greatly appreciate it very much. And we will see
Much love.
everyone tomorrow night on Jade's page, which is what time again, Jade? I can't remember again.
7 p.m. Central.
what channel?
Paramotorgirl.com. Flying Flamingo Jade.
Yay! All right, guys, have a great
Yay.
night. Peace
I
out.
love ya.
Peace out,
Bye,
everyone.